Hey, welcome to a quick little video here that will help you to understand the right way to express your sexual interest. So one of the biggest problems guys have is expressing sexual interest without coming across creepy, weird, or pervy. It's something I hear all the time, especially since I'm pretty well known for sexualizing conversations, turning things sexual, things of that nature. And very often when I'm teaching students, especially students who are a little newer, especially students who maybe have a little bit of sexual anxiety, especially students who, maybe are just getting into the whole pickup thing, they're really concerned that they don't come off bad. They really want to avoid rejection. And I have to tell you that one of the quickest and easiest ways to get rejected is to express sexual interest too early or in too direct of a form. It really is. It is one of the easiest ways to get rejected. So in a way, those fears are not completely unfounded. You do have to express sexual interest and sexual intent the right way, otherwise you do have a pretty high chance of getting blown out. So how do we do that? Well, I have tons of full courses on that, from the seduction roadmap to rapid sexual encounters and everything in between. But what I'll say is one of the best ways of expressing sexual interest is to use barriers. What is a barrier? I'm not talking about like dental dam or a condom. I'm talking about putting a barrier between your sexual interest and her, right? So let's take two examples, one which is really bad and one which is really good. So a really bad way to try to sexualize an interaction is to say something like, "Oh my god, I want to fuck you so bad," or "Oh my god, I really want to like suck your tits," right? Like something overtly sexual. What happens there is it creates a sexual threat to the woman, and unless you're saying it at exactly the right time, when the woman is open to that kind of sexuality, which does happen from time to time, especially later in the interaction if you've been talking to the girl for a really long time, or if you've been making out and kind of groping each other, then that kind of stuff can work. I've definitely said let's go fuck to girls before and had it work, but that's very much the minority and very much not what you can generally expect to have work. On the other hand, what if I said something like, if nobody was here right now, you don't even want to know what I would do to you. So there's two things going on there. One is the barrier, right? The barrier is if nobody was here right now. If we're out in a crowded bar and I'm talking to a girl and I say, if nobody was here right now, there's a barrier to whatever is about to come next, because obviously people are here and obviously I can't act on that instinct. So that's the first thing. The second thing is ambiguity. When it comes to expressing sexual interest, you always want to be more ambiguous, because that baits the woman. If you just kind of overtly tell her, "Oh, I want to like bend you over," again, it can be good if you're in the right place and if everything's going well and you're kind of already doing well with her. But for the most part, that's going to be overly sexual and overly direct. And you lose the chance to have her go sexual, right? Like if I say something like, "You have no idea what I want to do to you," or, "I've got some really inappropriate ideas I'm thinking," she's going to ask what they are. And that's going to bait her to kind of go sexual herself. And now it's becoming more of a mutual escalation, as opposed to me just kind of throwing sexual interest at her, which, again, can work, but it's much lower percentages, and it's much more likely to fail and much more likely to creep a girl out. And with something like sexual interest, you really want to play on the careful side, because it is something that will blow you out, right? Like saying something dumb, you don't want to do it, it's not ideal, but you're probably going to be okay Whereas saying something that is overtly sexual at the wrong time, you're probably going to get blown out. It's probably going to end the interaction. It's probably going to creep the girl out. So when we're expressing sexual interest, we want to use ambiguity and barriers as much as possible to start the escalation, because that's going to take away that sexual threat. It can't happen right now, so there's nothing to really worry about for the woman. She doesn't have to worry about, well, if I keep talking to this guy, something's going to happen, because the barrier allows the proper distance and objectivity to express interest without creating that sexual threat. So those are just a couple of thoughts on expressing sexual interest. Think about barriers and ambiguity as opposed to being direct and aggressive. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you very soon.
Hey guys, Bobby Rio here, and I want to quickly tell you about a live online workshop that myself and Jon Sinn do several times a week called 4 Simple Steps to Becoming a Sexual Closer and Get More Hot Girls into Bed and Avoid the Friend Zone for Good. In this live workshop, Jon breaks down his proven step-by-step method for making sure that when you go out on a date or when you meet a girl, you follow this little formula he has to get her into bed. Now, this is a live workshop that Jon and I do. We do it a couple times a week. So if you go to unlockherlegs.com/closer, you can see the next time we're going to be doing this workshop, and you can register for the event. Like I said, it's 100% free. It's actually live, and you're going to discover the 4 simple steps to becoming a sexual closer and get more hot girls into bed, avoid the friend zone for good, and learn Jon's proven step-by-step method. Go to unlockherlegs.com/closer and register your free spot right now.